Hello you guys, welcome back to the beautiful hills of Tigoni. And before you can even think about skipping this video, we are back here to show all the amazing progress we've been able to make on our project here in Tigoni. This house was built, but the client felt like it wasn't up to par. It did not represent them or their family, and they called us in so we could pour our expertise and love into this beautiful, beautiful mega mansion. So today, join me as we head on back to this project that we've been working on for a while now to see what incredible, stupendous, out of this world changes that we've been able to create. So let's hop into this bad boy and head over to site. Welcome to the site, you guys. We have finally made it, and a few pointers to start with before we officially start the tour. There's a few things you need to know about this house. First of all, it is completely fresh, newly done by Fine Urban Construction and Interiors. And for this project, we are focusing on including the environment in the design as much as possible. So look out for big windows, big doors, lots of natural lighting, and fields of indoor-outdoor experiences throughout the house. So let's begin with the tour. So speaking of beautiful environments, we are on a hill here in Tigoni. So we're looking at a landscape that gives us so many opportunities to play around. So what we want to do is make sure that our client has more than enough space to lounge and enjoy. We're going to create a play area for the kids to have. We're going to create a gazebo for the ladies to sit down and gossip. We are also going to create a space for the men. But this is where I want to really get into it. We wanted to include a pool, which is something that this space is prime for. We're playing around with two ideas. So either we do an infinity pool that goes over on that side and joins up with that perimeter wall, and you have a really beautiful experience, or our second idea is right over on this side. Now, what are we looking at here? What is the structure? Because we saw all the ample space that we have, we decided we're able to create a parking area for our client and a garage. But to go above and beyond, we want to also have a very exciting feature, which is the possibility of having the pool on top. So let me show you some markers. Right from this wall over here, all the way to the bottom, that's where the pool would exist. And then we want to include a detail of a sunken lounge as well. So when I was talking about a space for the guys, we're thinking this would be the perfect area for it. But there's more exciting details. We are going to cover the area all around with glass. So we're retaining that transparency, making sure that that light is traveling well, because the base of the pool that would be here will also be transparent. So if you're at the bottom of the parking area, you're able to look up and see whoever's swimming. I think it's a very, very gorgeous idea. So let's continue with the tour. So let's take a look at the main structure. There's so many beautiful things to see right from the outset. Looking at the facade, I am impressed by the columns, the detailing on that. Guys, there's only so much I can do in terms of describing what this house was before. So I would urge you, go ahead and watch our previous videos. But even in this video, we will be intersplicing some footage of what the house was like before. So I really love that column detail. It's ultra modern, which is something we're doing for this house, modernization. So everything we're doing is to that purpose. And you can see that well represented over on this side, this paneling detail. I love that that's a feature that I'm seeing this year through a lot of our properties. I think it's such a beautiful way to elevate a house and give an impression of what to expect from the house, even on the inside. And looking over, well, I can see a staircase, and this is because we have created a lounge where the client can entertain, but we don't want the client to necessarily have people walking through their house if they don't want to. So that's a really easily accessible lounge from the outside of the house. Now, looking at this structure, looking at the shapes, and I can already tell from the openings, we have really big windows. One of the main things that we're trying to do in terms of the windows and doors to create something that's really seamless. But once we go inside, you will see that we are also reinforcing that security. So let's go inside. I almost missed this detail, but the videographer was kind enough to actually remind me. I was looking at the pillars, and this is so well disguised into the design, I almost missed it. So these little niches that you see here are actually going to be lights, which will just add on to the beauty of the house, and I love how perfectly it fits into the design. Guys, Fine Urban Construction and Interiors is all about precision and beautiful design, and I think this is the first idea you're gonna get of what we're really trying to accomplish with this house. So let's go inside. So here we approach a first sliding door, and as always, it's super smooth, which is exactly what you want from the main entrance of your house. So of course we'll have glass on here, but as I mentioned earlier, it's all about introducing as much of the outside into the house as possible. So by having that massive door there, we're getting all this light, but also you're getting a really beautiful view. So we are in the living room. We don't have the gypsum up yet, but we're going to go with nice, clean, classic designs for this house all throughout. We're gonna keep this space simple because it's basically where the client is going to be welcoming their guests. So we're gonna have a fireplace here, and we have a really big window here, which is another feature I'll be pointing out as we're going through. These are actually going to be changed out. So as we go through, if you see any of these, just know we're gonna change them out for aluminum, so the design is uniform throughout. So let's check out the second living space. This is more of the lounge area. So once you're welcomed in, you take a couple of steps, and this is where the party happens. Not really a party, but this is the more relaxed area. And you can see we have foodies here who are hard at work making sure all the wiring is perfect. And I'll be getting into that in a minute, because lighting was a huge issue in this house, natural lighting. And of course, we have to balance that out by including a lot of artificial lighting. But here we have the lounge space. So this is where the TV will be. We'll have a fireplace there, and we have big windows. But come closer. Actually, join me so you can see one of the biggest problems that we encountered. So the next door neighbor has a perimeter wall. And if you've ever been house hunting and you find that one apartment where you're literally facing a wall and you know how much that seals away the light, that's the problem that we're contending with. So here you can see a prime example of why, as we're walking through this house, I will be pointing out some dark areas. So we have yet another massive window, and this one is going to play such a huge role in allowing as much natural light as possible to flow into this space. And also you have the best view in the house, in my opinion. So right out there, we are going to have a waterfall. This is not exactly the best view, but I will be showing you in a moment. But whoever's using this space will have a great view of the outside and that waterfall. So let's go and continue walking this corridor. And I want you to notice that when you stand here, you're able to see from end to end. That's a design that we implemented to make sure that whatever light is coming from either end is really playing a role in keeping this place well lit. But also at the end there, we have a bit of a surprise that I'll get to in a minute. But for now, we have arrived at the dining room. So here we are going to have a broken mirror design to act as the partition. It is a really flexible design that does not add any solid walls, and I think it's going to be perfect for our goal of including as much natural lighting as possible. We'll also have a sink there as always, and we're thinking about playing around with some art on that wall, but that is to be seen as the project goes on. And this is where I tell you guys to subscribe to the channel. If you want to see the progress of this beautiful house, make sure you're subscribed. We have an extension of the dining room through yet another large opening. Right here, a couple of steps and you're outside on a space that would be perfect for brunch. Now right across, we have yet another big opening, which looks like it'll also have a sliding door. And here we are. This is where our magnificent waterfall will live. And this is where I get to brag that we made sure that a lot of people in this house are going to enjoy this waterfall. So not only from the lounge area, we have a bedroom there, we have the master there. I think that's also the master. We have another space there. So you have almost 360-degree view of this area. And we're gonna make sure that we're keeping that indoor-outdoor feel by including plants over here to kind of, block out what is just in a perimeter wall that's not very attractive. So let's continue and see what is there to see on this floor. We're gonna continue down this way. And as I continue, we are getting to the wall that I was talking about earlier, and that's right over here. Because it's a space that you'll see when you're transitioning from the different spaces, we're gonna have an art piece here. But over here, we have the kitchen. The kitchen, the magnificent kitchen. What are we doing in here? First things first, we had to make sure we had light. But before I get into that, let's talk about some of the features. We are going to include a huge island because we have a huge kitchen. We'll also have the main cooking area over here because it's a bit more private. And then right across, we are going to have all the other utilities. So you guys know we love building out our cabinetry. So you have a place for your coffee maker, your microwave, your oven. Everything's going to be super built in so that nothing is in the way. Now let's get into the lighting. I'm going to start over here. We were on about creating windows, or like where we can create a window, we're gonna do it, but everything at Fine Urban is made to measure. So we made sure to measure this out, the placement of this window, so it does not get in the way of anything else that we might want to build here. You guys know I brag about the customized feel of all our projects, so we need to make sure that we're measuring even when we're putting in a window, when we know we're gonna have cabinetry. Now over on this side is where the magic's really happening. You'll have your sink there. We have a massive window, which would be perfect. But again, we're facing a perimeter wall. It's just not enough light. But you might have noticed I'm now like bathing in sunlight. Like, how did that happen? That's because we were able to really look up and create so many windows up there. We created this really beautiful design up there that allows so much natural light to pour into this space. So you can imagine using this kitchen, being at the sink, washing away. You're basically sunbathing. You're gonna be sunbathing as you're doing your dishes, but we'll see more of this feature as we go through, and I'll get a bit more into it. Right across from the kitchen, we have a space that I'm really super proud of. Because of all the work that we did in the kitchen, we were able to give the clients options. So we were like, listen, do you want this to be a pantry or do you want this to be a laundry room? Because you already have a really huge kitchen. We're like, you know what? Let's make it a laundry room because our kitchen can actually support all our needs. So let's continue down this portal. Let's look at what's on the other end. Okay, now we can continue the tour. Here we have the common bathroom, and we have more foodies who are hard at work. You have to make sure that everything is spick and span. So for this room, again, lighting, lighting, lighting. So we have the window at the back, but we also have another one right here by the stairs, just trying to encourage as much light as possible to enter that space. But as I said before, we're going to be balancing that out with artificial light so that all this doom and gloom I'm feeling at the moment is not going to be here once the client is in the house. We have the beautiful spiral staircase. You guys know I love talking about the staircase, so I'm not even going to touch that just yet. Let's take a look at room number 1. Here we are. So the thing we wanted to do for the bedrooms was give the client some flexibility. So the placement of the bed, if they ever feel bored, they're able to switch it up. So as we go through, you'll notice in some of the rooms that we have provisions on more than just one wall, so that if they're moving their headboard, they're still able to like plug in all their, table lamps or their phones, whatever you need to plug in. So for this room, it's not quite as big. We're gonna have the bed over there. We have the windows. We're gonna make sure that we have as much cabinetry as possible in this space. And now we're gonna look at the bathroom. Again, nice big window, plenty of lighting. But when it comes to bathrooms, I love to talk about the planning of it. So we're gonna have the shower over on that side. I'm seeing the toilet bowl is gonna be on that corner. Let's continue to bedroom number 2. And I have to say, if I had to pick a room on this floor, this would be it. And you can immediately tell why. It is much bigger, which means you get more wardrobe space. We are going to have the headboard over there, but it also looks like a possibility if you wanted it over here. But I feel like we're most likely going to go on this side because of the traffic that would be in that area. So you'd have the bed on this side, leaving all this room for cabinetry. We also have a little nook over here, which we will play around with more cabinetry. It's gonna have the kind of walk-in closet feel. I love rooms that are designed like this. And here we have a bathroom that is even bigger than the one we saw before. Nice big shower area, and they're all gonna be rainfall showers. So look out for this piping, because that means we've already thought about the shower heads that we want in here. So it's all gonna be rainfall showers. So shower over here, toilet bowl, and here with an easy marking on the wall, I think we can all guess. Guys, say it in the comments. What are we gonna have in this space? So let's continue. So the next space is the space that I know my nephews would die for. So under the stairs, the client said, can you create an area for the kids to play? And we were like, right on, we're the right guys for the job. So we're gonna have a bit of a PlayStation area so that we can have a screen there, and we can get some really comfortable seats so they can sit there and play games to their heart's desires. So let's now get to the staircase of dreams. So I hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. That pool, you guys, insane. I cannot wait to see it. Anyway, let's talk about this bad boy. This is a vintage Range Rover, and there's something that's so sexy and appealing about a vintage car, but having a luxury, taken care of, well-loved vintage car is just a whole other level. Now for this, we've seen what it looked like before. Now it has this beautiful champagne-colored exterior. If you look up close, it's actually glittering. We have changed up the tires to make sure they're as new as possible, so they're all terrain. And you know we're all about the details at Fine Urban. Look at this. I've heard that this is only found on the newer models of Range Rovers. So I just love that we're tying that modernity into this vintage car. Now let's get into the interior. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at those seats. That cream color is so high-end. The quilting detail, I'm seeing contrast piping and stitching. It just feels like you have walked into an old car, but it feels absolutely new. I love the wooden details. There's a balance of retaining what it originally was, so you still feel like you are dealing with a vintage car. But honestly, I feel like you could say that this is one of the best interior designs for a car that you have ever seen. It's so spectacular, and let's get into this. Every inch of this car has been spectacularly done. There's no space that I'm looking at where we haven't gone above and beyond. And this is what you should expect from us when we're showing luxurious cars. It's not always about just buying a new car. It's also about showing love to your older cars. And this is a prime example. On the side for more content to do with luxury lifestyle, cars, jets, yachts, and choppers, make sure you subscribe to the Fine Urban Construction and Interior second channel. The name is Keeping Up with Fine Urban. Now say it with me, Keeping Up with Fine Urban. Oh, when it comes to staircases, it's all about the workmanship. And I have to say, perfectionism is in our DNA. Like Fine Urban is all about precision and making sure that every detail is absolutely perfect. So I know it's gonna be an absolute joy walking up these stairs. I might be a little wobbly at the moment. I'm wearing heels and you can tell the work is still going on, but I can still say that the makings of it, you know, you can always tell a good thing by its foundation. And right now I'm walking on one of the best foundations for a spiral staircase that you will ever see. So let's continue the tour. Go and see that lounge that we were talking about from the outside. Now this is where the stairs lead, and we have yet a pair of hoodies just going hard at work. So let's look at this space. It's wonderful, not a lot of fluff. I'm not even going to go into detail because these spaces are good to talk about when things are actually here. But something that I do notice is the wall. The wall is absolutely beautiful. You know, I've noticed, because we put so much hard work into creating walls this stunning, we always have somewhere where you can really get up close and personal with them. And that also speaks to the fact that we're really confident in our work, because honestly, I say this time and time again, with lines that are supposed to be straight, if you're allowed to get this close, immediately you're gonna be like, these guys are jokers. That is crooked. But every time I stand next to one of these walls, I'm like, that's absolutely perfect, just like I expected. But another interesting feature of this space is, of course, the environment. I don't know, sometimes I feel like you just need to be quiet and let nature speak for itself. I'm bathing in the sun, I'm looking at beautiful trees. It's such a serene environment. And also you get a really nice view of the driveway and the parking space and the lawn. Let's continue. I'm looking this way and I'm seeing stairs that continue going up. This is a multi-floor house, but we're going to look at another room. So this is room number 3 in this house. It mirrors the one downstairs. So all the things that I talked about, exactly the same in all the rooms. We're all just about creating as much use of the space as possible and also making it really, really comfortable. But this is a juggernaut. This is a feat. This is a beauty. It's a family room, you guys. It's such a wonderful space. Of course, we are going to make sure we have a nice TV wall so you're nice and comfortable. But the thing that really appeals to me, apart from the balcony, is this wall right here. this wall is just a prime example of the understanding and care that Fine Urban puts into everything that we do. I've talked about the lighting issue. So we understood that this room needed a partition, but we also understood that that corridor out there needed some lighting. So what did we do? We created a wall that had these spaces in between so that we're allowing light to travel from the outside into that corridor. And then it just looks like a really beautiful architectural design. Like, it's just so clever. It's so clever. So now let's look at the balcony. Here we have another set of sliding doors. Guys, I did tell you, look out for these big windows, big doors, light, 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 beauty, 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 nature, nature, nature. Let's step out. It's so magnificent. I thought that view was good. This is the view. This is the best view in the house. But I love that I'm already thinking that, like, if the kids are out playing, you would be able to see them. It would be nice and lovely. You have your garage there. It's just, I don't know. It's really, really beautiful. I would be using this space so much. But as you can see, it goes on. There's more of this to see, but I'll show you a different access area because that leads directly into a bedroom. So let's go around the civilized way. So right here, we are greeted by yet another bedroom, and here, come here. This is the only reason I'm entering this particular bedroom is because I want to show you guys what we were talking about downstairs. The view to the waterfall, and I love that we're going to be making these pit stops to just see how many people in this house are going to be enjoying this wonderful waterfall feature. As we're walking through this long corridor, just like we had downstairs, I want you to notice all the other things that we've managed to do to make this one well lit. Obviously, we have this big opening here. We have the door at the end. We have the design of the family room. We have a window. Like, there's so many things that we're doing that just make sense. And speaking of this opening in the wall, we'll have a big sliding glass window over here, so you can look out and look onto what? I want to hear you guys say it. What are we looking at onto? The waterfall. It's gonna be amazing, guys. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. So here we enter a room, and yet again we have our foodies hard at work. So let's try and stay out of their way. Here we have another bedroom. Looks like we're gonna have the bed over here, seeing a TV wall will be over there. I am curious to see how we're gonna place the cabinetry here. We have the bathroom over there. I want to get in there and just kind of point out. Actually, let's just go. I'll just point at the things. Excuse me. There is a kidogo. Okay, here we are in the bathroom. This is one of my favorite bathrooms, and I think you can immediately tell why. We have another skylight feature here. So we will have the sink over there. We'll have the toilet bowl right next to the window. But this is party central. This is party central. This is the shower cubic, and this area would be so dark if we hadn't used this incredible design of having the skylights up there. Honestly, I talked about sunbathing while you're in the kitchen, but imagine you're taking a nice warm shower on a bright day and you have the sun also pouring down. Like, honestly, I feel like that's how I would waste water if I had a skylight right above my shower. But also this feature, you guys have also seen it, and this is where I ask, I want to see who really watches the content. What is this for? Tell us in the comments, what is this little niche in the wall for? We'll have the shower over on that side, and plenty of lights, plenty of windows. Beautiful. So let's continue. This room also is the one that has the access to the balcony. Here we have yet another big sliding door that will have glass at the end, and we're outside yet again. Oh my goodness, I'm looking up, I'm seeing skylights. I'm also seeing, this is actually the best view where I'm seeing the pillar design and how it plays a part even on this level. And I'm also seeing it over on this side, we also have this pillar design just continuing. Remember I said we're modernizing this house, so some of these features that you're seeing, we're not doing traditional pillars, we're doing something that's ultra modern, and you can see that represented in the type of pillars that we've chosen, not only in the shape but the textures. We're not doing any extra molding, we just wanted nice, simple, clean lines, and I think that's the epitome of modernity, right? Just simple, clean lines. So let's continue with the tour. Oh, I'm noticing now we also have a big window here, and as I mentioned, that's just to help with the light flowing also into the corridor. So here we have another room, and let me see. How many rooms have we gone through so far? We had 2 downstairs. This must be the 6th room. Oh my gosh. From the outside, you cannot tell just how big this house is. At the bathroom in this bedroom, another one with a beautiful feature. I don't know if I'm the only one who does this, but if I enter a space where there's light, I'm attracted to it. I'm like a moth. I'm like, I want to go into that space. And here, it's because of the use of the beautiful skylight feature yet again. So we are going to the 2nd and final floor. I think in Kenya it goes round, first, second. It's not first, second, third, right? Yeah. So we're going to the 2nd floor. I am going to be carefully walking up these stairs because you can tell we're putting these planks so that people can access the different areas as the work goes on. So let's continue. We have made it to the top floor, and at the end of that not actually, I was about to say the end of the staircase. I'm wrong because obviously it continues. But I want to see the design. I'm not going to be too risky, but I want to see the design. The spiral that just keeps going. I love when we do these because it's always such a gentle slope up the house or down the house, and once you get up and you look down is when you really get to appreciate the beauty. And now that we're up here, there's another feature, the windows that have been following us from downstairs, just to make sure that the stairwell is also very well lit. These will follow us all the way up as we continue. I just want you guys to keep an eye on that. If you're wondering why I keep saying that we had an issue with darkness in the house, and yet as I'm walking through, it seems so light. Anyway, here we are in the gym. Said this time and time again, I don't really like working out like that, but the way Fine Urban designs gyms makes me believe in myself. Like if I had a gym like this in my house, I 100% work out, but one of the main things that we wanted to make sure we were doing was having a massive window here so that whoever is working out in here has a very great view of the outside of the house. So you're about to go on a tour like none other. I don't know if I mentioned that this entire floor consists of one room or one space. It is the master bedroom. So from the gym, as we continue on, all the spaces you're gonna see are master bedroom spaces. I wanna let's start with the main room area where the bed will be, where the client will be spending their nights. And immediately I'm struck by what I've been talking about time and time again with the flexibility. They could either have their bed over there or over here, but we were thinking this is ideal. This is ideal because you have a clear through line into the lounge area, which I'll be getting into in just a few seconds. But I want to also look at this window. We have those 2 small windows, but we have this main window. And what are we looking out at here? What are we gonna be seeing? The waterfall. This room is also gonna have such a fantastic view of the waterfall, and this is actually where it ends. It ends up there, but you can actually come closer and see exactly where we intend, where we've done the plumbing to have the waterfall. Let's go into the next space that I talked about, and this is the lounge area. And wait a minute, did I almost miss out on talking about the skylight feature? That's insane. Like, why would I miss that? But We have a skylight feature here. It's perfect for this transitional space, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's wonderful. It's all the great things. I love it. And I know you guys love it too. But now we are in the lounge area. Looks like we're gonna have the TV over there. But the main point of having the headboard where I talked about, like between the windows, where I think it's absolutely perfect and genius, is that if one of the partners is sitting here and the other one is in bed, they could easily communicate. You could just be like, you know what, I don't feel like sitting and watching TV, but I still want to be in your company, but I want to be laying in bed, and you just yell across to each other. It's beautiful. That's what I want to retire to. I want to build my dream home with fine urban construction and interiors, so that I know they're actually going to think about, how do I interact with my spouse? Like, that is just next level. It's absolutely next level. So this room also has a balcony. I always demonstrate these because there's just a certain pleasure in the sliding door that's done right. Nice, it's really smooth, you know. So here we are, stepping onto the outside, and oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna be eating my words a lot. This might be the best view. I know I said it downstairs, but this is so perfect. You see further out. Oh my God, it's beautiful. This environment is so amazing, so amazing. So over on this side, we have skylights, but also above me, we have skylights. So I just want to show you guys something. Because when you're creating a skylight, it means there's a hole in the ceiling somewhere. So you need to have safety measures, and that's exactly what we've done here. This is glass as it needed to be so that you have light penetrating. The point of a skylight is to have light penetrating, so of course it's going to be glass. But the selection of glass is really important. We're not about aesthetics over safety. We're actually about safety over aesthetics. But if you can find that balance in between, which is what we try and do all the time, this is what you create. So this glass has been chosen because it is something that you can actually walk on. You could walk on and it doesn't break. We choose the best for our clients. We still have more to see because this entire floor is the master bedroom. We have more space to discuss. So on this end of the corridor, my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this might be the exact size of my living room. Yeah, this walk-in closet in this magnificent house is the exact size of my living room. And it's just inspiring me. I want to live in a house where I have so much room. And you know what's making me so happy? I just know that when it comes to the cabinetry, we're gonna knock it out of the park, his and hers. We have another nook here with a nice big window which plays really nicely into the flow of light. Our corridors are actually, I don't know if I brag about our corridors enough and how we design them, but now we have walked into the master bathroom. And I want to take a pause. I feel like I should do one of those TikTok challenges where you stand in a space before and like do a little dance, and then you transition to when it's complete. Because I know a lot of you guys who watch it, when we transform bathrooms and you see the end product, you can't even remember when it was at this stage. Like you won't remember. So nice big windows as always. We want to inject as much light as possible. The wall I'm standing on, this is where we'll have the his and hers sink. As always, with all this space, the world is your oyster. You might as well just play around. I'm seeing the provision for the toilet bowl right over on this side. And here comes my favorite part. We ran into the sun. Another skylight. Oh my gosh. I'll never get tired of this feature. Honestly, you just feel really good. Even just standing here, it feels really good. And I can imagine that once the client has their shower over on this corner, it's also going to be the exact same feeling, if not better. And another thing I actually haven't mentioned, we are in Tigoni, we're in the hills. It's quite chilly. It actually is quite chilly sometimes. And there's something that we want to do by incorporating the use of fireplaces in multiple spaces in the house, whether it's downstairs, whether it's up here in the master bedroom, but also in here in the master bathroom. And I was talking to our lead designer, and he was talking to me about the possibility, if a client really wanted it, for us when we're doing the plumbing, to create a heating system that runs throughout the entire house. And I thought a place like this would be perfect for that. So guys, if you have a project that's in a chill area, if you don't necessarily want us to have fireplaces all over the place, that's an option for you. Like, we're always innovating, coming up with new things. So that's an option. So go for that. But in here, we're gonna have the fireplace, and we're gonna have a big old tub, like a nice big tub. Go up a couple of more stairs to the rooftop. Oh my gosh. It's wonderful. Guys, I wish you could join me on these stairs. I know it sounds so weird to be so excited about stairs, but really, it is such a comfortable experience. We are on the rooftop. Oh, it's a big open space, y'all. It's a big open space. I am seeing the makings of the skylights that we saw downstairs. It is nice. And if you're worried, guys, if you're worried, every time we have a skylight where you could easily look inside and see someone's secret business, best believe we're working on making this one way, where we're still retaining the light penetrating into the space below, but if you're up here, you're not really going to be able to spy on what's going on down there. But what are we doing? What are we doing up here? Guys, I think at this point, there should be a song about fine urban and nyama choma, like it's an African culture, it's Kenyan culture, so we incorporate it into the houses that we redesign or build up. So we are going to have a nice lounge, barbecue area, a kids play area. It's a really big space, so I'll just say stay tuned. There's nothing more I can say at this stage. Stay tuned if you really want to see all these things that I'm talking about and going on about and being so excited about. You want to see them come to life? Hit subscribe. But if you're impatient and you're like, I want to see it today, we have so many videos, so many properties that we've built from ground or we've renovated all over Kenya, Nairobi, Africa. You can go to our channel, go scroll through and see the amazing transformations that we've been able to accomplish, and you will get a step-by-step play of every single stage. So subscribe, go watch those videos, go and watch the before video of this particular property, and make sure that you're here when I come back next time.